those Nilfgaardians? That's your work?
They followed their leader too blindly.
You killed them all.
They didn't slaughter themselves.
We shouldn't arrive at the same time. Let's split up.
The Lodge remembers too.
Rest assured I won't let anyone compress me again.
Some of the sorceresses will be surprised to see you. Watch them closely.
Don't worry, I'll manage. See you at the talks.
All right. Let me guess.
Behold, the mighty Numa, and I am his apprentice.
Way to spoil my fun.
The mighty Numa breaks the necks of bulls, bends iron bars, defeats everyone. Numa. His secret lies in the mushrooms and herbs cultivated in Ilanda and picked in the mornings by virgin priestesses. They can be yours for a very reasonable price.
Now you tell me. I don't work with sorceresses. This is no job for me.
What's going on? Are you about to fight?
The Conclave has forbidden dueling.
You can't just back out. We agreed. We have commitments to fulfill.
You did take an advance on your fee.
And I'm keeping it. Don't you follow me.
Witcher Geralt. A sight for sore eyes you are. May we speak?
Didn't expect to see you again. Certainly not here.
Loch Muin is an intriguing place.
For scientists especially.
We've mounted a small expedition and require protection.
What kind of expedition are we talking about?
We have irrefutable evidence that Epte Henna's laboratory is located in Loch Muin.
We need an armed man to protect us from the filth in the sewers. They're infested with monsters.
The details you'll get from our employer.
A sorceress.
I know a thing or two about monsters, and about sorceresses. What's this one's name?
I'm sorry, but we cannot disclose her name until you agree to join us.
Nice talking to you then.
Cynthia! Her name is Cynthia!
What was Dare Hanna doing in this city?
Everyone's heard of his Thousand Genie curse, but few know that he also had a penchant for the history of Loch Muin. He was particularly interested in the Vrans and their ultimate decline as a civilization. In his memoirs, he mentions that he left his archive here. That's how we pinpointed the location of his laboratory.
You did.
The sorceress did, in point of fact.
But we're the ones who know everything about Epter Henna.
I wrote my dissertation about the man. To arrive at the laboratory, we must pass through the sewers.
Remember that potion you gave me back in Flotsam?
Of course. How's the experiment going? Noticed any side effects?
Or peculiar interactions with other potions?
Yeah, every time I mix it with vodka, my tongue gets hairy. All right, I'm willing to help.
You won't regret it.
Where do we start?
We've gained access to an ancient crypt where mages were laid to rest. It's beneath that tower. Our companions await us there.
How are things?
You're either very unobservant or very rude. I thought I'd meet some of my colleagues from years past, chat with them and reminisce, but they all turn their heads away and treat me like air.
Mages aren't known for being polite.
You're telling me. They threw me out of Banard the first chance they got. Must have beaten the Chancellor one too many times. They've all forgotten me and I believe I've had enough. I'm getting rid of the grimoires and amulets. I don't want anything to do with mages.
I'd like to cast an eye at those if you don't mind.
Sure. Cast both if you want.
Anything on the Wild Hunt in your collection?
I'd avoid the topic altogether. Nothing good has ever come to those who have delved.
I'll take my chances. I need to know why the Wraiths carry off youths. What happens to them?
This knowledge has never been recorded, which does not mean it cannot be acquired.
Well, I'd like to acquire it.
In the chasms beneath Loch Muin, there is a sword that once belonged to an elf from the parallel world.
And nobody's gone to look for it?
There are mages who seek it still, but the sword is well concealed. They say he who handles it will understand the essence of the Wild Hunt. Could that be true, though?
Gotta pay for looking too.
I'm Geralt.
Brass of Banard. I remember you from Thanedd. I believe I saw you in Oxenfurt, too.
Seems we only ever meet on Elvenland.
Indeed. But I suspect you're not here to chat about Elven ruins.
On the contrary, I find Elven ruins interesting.
Do you really? Elven works are not half as interesting as gnomish ones.
But even ruined, Loch Muin is impressive. It must have been beautiful in the times of the First Conclave.
Everything was better before the war, as they say.
The sources. Those children that old Geoffrey Monk brought here to train in the magic arts must have walked around gaping at all they saw.
Somehow I just can't imagine Hen Giddimdeath as a small gawking boy.
You met him? Ah, right, on Thanedd. His death was a terrible loss. Terrible. You see, Geralt, everyone complains about how the world is taking a turn for the worse.
Values are being compromised. The small is dislodging the great.
Exactly. But the events on Thanedd truly marked the end of an era. The world grew up, losing its virginity in a rape.
What use are masters of magic and legendary heroes to a grown-up world?
They're of no use. That's the point. Today, people manage perfectly well without mages, witches, and heroes.
Yet not everyone understands that, and not everyone likes it.
You're so clever you'll get in trouble. We'd best change the subject.
Actually, I'm here because of your weapon expertise.
I'm no expert.
You're the best swordsmith among mages.
I'm more interested in the cultural relics of other races, actually.
I'm going to need a solid cultural relic in my hand.
I guess the circumstances require haste.
I'm interested in the Wild Hunt. Any chance you know something about it?
No, birds are not exactly my speciality.
Thanks. Tell me what you know about those gargoyles that are bothering you.
They were servants of the mages who once lived in Loch Muin. The mages left, but the gargoyles remained behind. They're still lethal. The quarters they guard are simply inaccessible.
Yes?
The mages will be overjoyed if you sign their treaty. Any idea who'd be the advisor in Vengerberg?
They insist on appointing the advisors themselves, though I doubt Saskia will accept that.
Anything can happen.
That lass will allow no one to control her. I've been observing her. She's a splendid commander.
Making her even more dangerous if anyone manages to manipulate her.
I'm not sure I understand.
Just thinking aloud. I guess you're here about the war with Kedwen.
They wouldn't let us near Natalis, and Radovid refuses an audience. Scandalous. The mages drone on about their coven of advisors, but even they don't take us seriously. Perhaps the prince could get something, but I'm not certain they'll let him into the talks. Henselt protested, and the others are too cowardly to stand up to him. As a result, we are not officially here.
Henselt can't openly interfere in your matters.
Who's to stop him? He claims the prince is preparing to set a dangerous precedent by eradicating serfdom.
Terrible crime. Next thing you know, he'll do away with court protocol.